For centuries, the entire global fashion industry was gated by a strict biological limit: the speed of the human hand. A physical pencil had to hit a physical sketchbook. Translating those 2D lines into a 3D garment required hours of manual pinning, adjusting, and draping. The physical atelier could only move as fast as human fingers could manipulate fabric. Meanwhile, global culture accelerated. Millions of images, localized microtrends, and aesthetic shifts began hitting the internet every second. The public appetite for new silhouettes began to vastly outpace biological output. The sheer volume of inspiration overwhelmed the physical atelier. Human hands and needles simply could not process visual data fast enough to keep up with cultural demand. In the 15th century, movable type shattered the bottleneck of hand-copied texts. Fashion is undergoing an identical intellectual leap today. Generative models now analyze centuries of silhouette data to propose entirely new structural logic, drafting viable collections in minutes. These algorithms make core design decisions, determining the weight of a lapel or the height of a waistline, independent of manual trial and error. For the first time, a fashion designer can author an entire line without ever touching a physical sketchpad. Neural networks continuously swallow massive streams of global visual data to instantly isolate completely invisible localized design microtrends. Historically, Parisian ateliers dictated style downward. Now, an algorithm captures a unique fabric print worn in Lagos and immediately cross-references it with dense urban pedestrian styles emerging simultaneously in Seoul. A color palette trending on the streets of Sao Paulo enters that exact same system at the exact same moment, erasing geographic delay entirely. The code processes all these disparate inputs at once, tracking microscopic shifts in how fabrics drape, which shades dominate, and how proportions adjust across different continents. A human eye is bound by biology and geographic limits. The machine observes the entire board simultaneously, calculating actual consumer desire without prejudice. Isolated moments of street style bypass traditional gates entirely, colliding to form an immediate, worldwide aesthetic conversation. This animated diagram shows how the algorithm translates millions of raw visual data points into a singular wireframe silhouette of a dress. As the calculation continues, the model reaches into its training data, expanding the initial structure to weave in centuries of historical tailoring lines and geometric shapes. This is memory-made material. The algorithm synthesizes forgotten runway concepts and tailoring history to produce a silhouette that never previously existed. When that schematic is finally cut from cotton or silk, every physical stitch carries the invisible logic of those vast, complex calculations. A complete collection today skips the intuition phase. It emerges fully formed from an active stream of data. But allowing a machine to predict our preferences carries a severe mathematical risk. This chart illustrates that threat. When models optimize strictly for proven, safe trend data, diverse styles rapidly collapse and flatten into a single, uniform baseline. If we rely entirely on the system to dictate form, we sacrifice genuine human expression to statistical probability. Unchecked machine prediction threatens to compress human creativity into a singular, optimized average. To prevent this, the creator must step away from drafting physical forms and embrace intellectual curation. True originality now relies on how strictly the designer limits, filters, and directs the algorithm's raw mathematical output. Commanding this machine transforms every single mathematical parameter into a highly deliberate statement of human meaning and intent. The printing press of style elevates thought above mechanics. The modern designer commands the logic, becoming both the author of the system and the artifact it produces.